The American standard of living has declined, and fewer people are buying fast food. Today, I read an article on Yahoo Finance put out by MoneyWise and written by Jing Pan, titled, Top Wall Street Exec Claims Average American's Standard of Living Has Declined Under Biden. The author of this article referenced Jason Trannert, the chairman and CEO of Strategic Securities, who said, the average American isn't doing as well as before, as they continue to grapple with rising prices. The author went on to reference Jason Trannert as saying, the average person's standard of living has declined. Real wages may have started to increase slightly in the last couple of months, but it's the cumulative effect of inflation that people are responding to. That's why the confidence is so low. That's why people are so grumpy, despite the fact that you're close to full employment. People have gotten poorer. Well, my friends, I thought it was interesting that he said this is why people are so grumpy. This is not the first time that I have heard this. I have read several stories online about police needing to be called to come to car dealerships. Back on March 6th, the police were called to the service department at Lexus of Watertown because a woman was not satisfied with her new vehicle. Back on September 9th, 2023, in Arlington, Texas, a former employee of Arlington Honda who had been fired walked into the new car area with a rifle and shot a window and then fired 3 or 4 more shots. A service advisor who had a gun tried to defend himself by firing at the gunman, and the two got into an exchange. The former employee with the rifle was later shot by police. Now, some of you might say, these are just 2 examples of some crazy people. But I personally have noticed people are a lot more on edge lately. It seems as though financial pressures are mounting in people's lives, and many don't know how to cope. I sense this when I drive around and people have short tempers with road rage. I also sense this during interactions at the point of service stations at retail locations. In my personal opinion, there are a lot of people who are stressed to the max financially, and they often have a short fuse. I'm curious if any of you have noticed this, especially if you work with the general public on a regular basis. If you have any interesting stories, please share them in the comment section below. Getting back to the article, the author referenced a recent Economist YouGov poll of U.S. adults, which revealed 53% of respondents said the economy is getting worse, while 24% said it is about the same, and only 18% responded that it is getting better. Nearly 60% of Americans disapprove of Biden's handling of the economy, according to an average of various recent polls calculated by Real Clear Politics. Well, my friends, I find it interesting that 53% of respondents said the economy is getting worse. They must not be watching the mainstream media and listening to politicians who tell us that the economy is booming. I'm not going to comment regarding Biden's handling of the economy. I'd prefer not to go down that rabbit hole. Understand, a lot of the problems in the economy started decades ago. There are countless things that people could point their fingers at, such as Nixon temporarily taking us off the gold standard, or Reaganomics, or Clinton signing the North American Free Trade Agreement back in 1993. Our country has not been heading in the right direction for the masses for a very long time, in my opinion. Our country has been heading in the right direction for the 1%, though. I can understand why 53% of these people said the economy is getting worse. People are paying a higher interest rate on their debt. People are struggling to afford food at the grocery store due to inflation, greedflation, and shrinkflation. People are paying more for childcare and healthcare. People are paying more for home insurance and car insurance. Some people can't even find good home insurance in their area anymore. Individuals have not seen their wages keep pace with inflation. I have no doubt some people are frustrated that they are working for less money than in the past because inflation has eroded their purchasing power. Young people who are just getting started in life are priced out of being able to rent an apartment, and they often can't buy a home either because they can't compete with all cash offers. Some can't afford the payment now that we are in a 7% mortgage rate environment. There are countless reasons why people might think the economy is getting worse. I can't blame them. The only people who are doing well in this economy are people who own assets that have seen their wealth grow. Everyone else is being left behind. Welcome to the new America. There is quite the divide between the haves and the have-nots, and the chasm is continuing to widen. I read some of the comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. One commenter said, "And the media claims all is well. It's not. Shameful for them to suggest otherwise." Another commenter said, "Really? You think? Get down with the lower third of the population and see how bad it really is. This regime has nothing to be proud of." The last comment that I'll share with you came from someone who said, "Is there something new in this article? We have been complaining about the shrinking of the middle class for decades. When I was young, Dad worked, Mom stayed home and took care of the family, and on one salary, a house and car were paid for, and the kids went to college. Yeah, inflation has gone up under Biden, but comfortable lives have been disappearing for most of my adult life for anyone under the top 10%. The next story is interesting because it provides some insight into the economy for people who aren't necessarily part of the 1%. I read an article on foxbusiness.com written by Aislinn Murphy titled, "Fast Food Restaurant Sales Slump as More People Eat at Home." According to the author, people seem to be buying less food from quick service restaurants. The author said this appears to be the case after companies such as Yum Brands, Starbucks, and McDonald's offered their latest quarterly updates on their businesses. Yum Brands said its overall same-store sales narrowed by 3%. There was a decrease of 4% in Starbucks global comparable store sales for its second quarter. The CEO of McDonald's was quoted as saying, "It is clear that broad-based consumer pressures persist around the world." Well, my friends, I understand why people may be buying less fast food. They simply can't afford it. Everything in life is getting incredibly expensive, and buying a carload of kids' fast food could break the bank, unless you plan on using a credit card or a buy now, pay later loan to pay for it. Even then, you have to eventually pay off that debt. I'm going to tell you about something interesting. Let's say you want to buy fast food with a buy now, pay later loan, but the fast food restaurant doesn't accept something like Affirm. Well, you can go to the Affirm website and buy a $50 gift card for Burger King and then finance the $50 gift card. Then you can take the $50 gift card and go to Burger King and buy your food. I looked it up today. If someone is hungry and wants fast food, you can be very creative and find a way to finance it in our society. It's really interesting what consumers can do nowadays. I worry some will get into more debt than they can handle. Even if they can handle this debt right now, that may not be the case in the future, especially if our economy takes a turn for the worse and we see unemployment spike. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Please keep in mind that everything in this video is for entertainment purposes only, and nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.